everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about sleep, stress, and solutions, one of my favorite topics. Stress is not what happens to you. It's how you respond to life's challenges. Stress shows up in the form of chemical, physical, emotional changes, and it is continual in everyone's everyday life. So when we talk about chemical stresses, we're talking about things like food additives, artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, the different chemicals that people put on their skin, their different hand lotions, the artificial fragrances in air fresheners, things like that. There are different chemicals that stress our body and that our body has to deal with. Okay. There's physical stresses. You might strain your muscles when you're carrying something. You might sprain an ankle. So there's physical stresses. Emotional changes, different emotional changes we go through with all different types of things, right? You get a phone call and oh, maybe your child is sick at school and you need to rush off and go get them. You're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with the rest of the kids? I got to get them all in the car. The car's at the shop. What am I going to do? All these little emotional changes. And there's big emotional changes that come along too. And sometimes we're dealing with emotional changes, emotional stresses, day after day after day after day. And this really creates a cumulative effect on the body because it doesn't really get a break from going through all this. Okay. Then there's long-term stress and that the long-term wear and tear on the body. Maybe you might have a physical job, or maybe you might have a lot of stress in your job. So it might not be physically taxing, but it might be very mentally taxing or emotionally taxing. Maybe you have emotional things to deal with coworkers or with just how your job is and what you have to deal with. This causes stress on the nervous system and also on our digestive system. And it in turn diminishes our cellular function, our ability for cells to rebuild and repair, because our body is so busy dealing with those stresses that it can't focus on regeneration like it normally would in a healthy situation. How could we manage stress? Nutrition, by giving our body the proper nutrition that it needs. We can support with, of course, the food we need, but also supplementation is a part of this. And then using essential oils to support the body in this way. We're also going to talk about sleep. This is really important when it comes to managing stress. And that's one of our topics tonight. So effects of stress. Long-term stress depletes valuable nutrients from the body, and that causes cellular damage, allowing reproduction of unhealthy cells. Also, it stresses the digestive system, the digestive process. So there was a study done years ago on football players, and they monitored by doing an ultrasound on the food in their stomach after they ate, if they did sedentary things after they ate, or if they got out on the field and exercised. And they saw that when these men went out and exercised after they ate, that their digestive process pretty much stopped, because their body said, whoa, we have other things to do. We'll worry about digesting later. We're not going to do it now because we have some stress to deal with here. And so that can happen with us too. If we have physical or mental and emotional stress, our body will say, whoa, there's an emergency going on. Send all the energy somewhere else. We'll deal with digesting the food later. One of the problems with today's society is the fact that, unlike thousands of years ago, people under a stress situation, they might not have been piling on another meal soon after. I mean, if there was a really big problem, they needed to pack up, get up and go. They might not have been eating as regularly as we do today. But today, you have a really stressed out, morning, you ate breakfast and now that's laying in your tummy. And now, you feel stressed and someone offers you an unhealthy or a healthy snack, but you really didn't digest breakfast all that well. And then it's time for lunch, it's your break time. And if you don't take it now, you won't get it later. So you might go and eat some more. And now your body is really burdened with all this going on. So this hinders our system, and it gives it another one more burden to deal with. So some solutions are to remove the toxins from our diet and from our environment. So read the labels on your food, eat whole foods, okay, such as instead of grabbing an apple tart, instead of grabbing an apple flavored granola bar, just grab the apple, right? So look to whole foods. Grab a handful of baby carrots on the way out the door instead of a bag of chips or some toast. Yes, you can have vegetables for breakfast. It's okay. Effects of stress. Lack of support for cellular health can multiply the effects of stress. The health of your cells directly relates to the health expressed by your body. So alpha CRS is one of our supplements, and this helps to support the body in cellular repair and also supports the central nervous system. So it has specific herbs that target that, such as skullcap, one of my favorite herbs. It's a very calming herb and it's a very restorative herb. So in this set, there's also the E-omegas, which gives us our essential fatty acids, which are so important for heart health, for healthy cholesterol levels, for cognitive function, and for our skin, for many different things in the body. So those essential fatty acids are important in our overall health. And they are infused with essential oils as part of a daily supplement program. So what else do we want to talk about when it comes to supporting our stress levels? So I like to start off with balance in the morning. This is really great to put balance on the bottom of the feet in the morning. And it helps to breathe that in and to just smell that. It helps to start the day. You ever wake up in the morning and you think, oh my goodness, I have 50 things to do. How am I going to get it done? But you don't even hit the floor and your brain is going 500 miles an hour. Like, how am I going to get all this stuff done? When I start the day using balance, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to get this done? I think, let me get my pen and paper and start making my list if I didn't already make it the night before. A lot of times I'll make it in the evening or before I go to sleep. I'll write down what my things are for the next day so that I can wake up ready to go and look at them and just start checking things off. So then at the end of the day, serenity is absolutely wonderful to just really unwind and just release. It helps with getting to sleep. It helps me with staying asleep. My one son likes to use this during the day. If he's feeling stressed, this will help with him for daytime stress also. I prefer to use it at night. Okay, now when we have head tension, when we have tension, the back of the neck and the head, this is really, can really disrupt our day. One more stress for our body to deal with, right? But it's also as a result of stress often. Now, sometimes it can actually be a result of food additives. When they test food additives and they marked them safe, they tested them singularly. Okay, they never combined them together and said, what happens if we make a chemical cocktail of 5, 7, 10 different food additives and let humans ingest it? What's going to happen? They never tested to find out. Mhm. So we are all human experiments if we're eating that way. So be aware that these generally regarded as safe food additives were not tested together. So you might want to avoid them as we do. Remember, you are the keeper of the gate. Okay, you're the one who says yes or no of what comes in and out of your front door. And if you choose you're not going to purchase those items and have them come in your house, then that's up to you to do. And you should take that liberty and decide what is and isn't coming on proactively and not just let it happen. Okay. So, that said, here are some essential oil options if you have head tension. So, we can use past tense, which is a group of several different oils together. It has wintergreen is one of the oils in there. And this is very effective with dealing with head tension. Some other options are peppermint, copaiba, frankincense. Now, combining 1 drop of peppermint and 1 drop of copaiba in the hand, rub together. Breathe it in, put some on the back of the neck, a little bit on the, the head, right? Not near the eyes. Put it maybe by the hairline here is a great option too. Like I said, the back of the neck, you could kind of massage that in the shoulders if you want. Wonderful option. Another is the peppermint and the frankincense together work great. Copaiba and frankincense have a lot of similarities. And so you don't necessarily have to use them together, but that would be fine. Our deep blue is very effective. Now, if you're dealing with headaches at that time of the month, then deep blue is great for that. But it's also, you can also apply that to your belly, and that can help with cramping. So we would deal with deep blue when it comes to muscle cramps in our legs or anything like that. If we have a problem with joints and shoulders and knees, deep blue is definitely our friend. But if we have monthly cramps, deep blue again is going to be very beneficial, as well as using it for a headache. So keep that nearby. Lavender and basil together are a nice option, or lavender and peppermint if you need a pick me up. That would be great. So you can use those in the same way I just mentioned. If your issue has to do with your monthly cycle, Claricalm would be one that you would use together with peppermint. You could also use that with lavender. Lavender does have some ability to support us hormonally also, as well as the Claricalm or the Clary Sage essential oil, which is one of the items in the Claricalm blend. So great options for head tension. Blood pressure. Now, if you're concerned with your blood pressure and you want healthy blood pressure levels, some options are Serenity, Ylang Ylang, Marjoram. Marjoram is very supportive to the muscles, okay, to our muscles, and the heart is a muscle. So any of these can be applied over the heart. That's great. We could also make a roller bottle. So a roller bottle would be like this. These are 10 ml roller bottles. So this recipe is for 10 ml. You would put that in there, and then you would snap on your top. You would put the oils in there. Then you would put in a carrier oil. So we typically use a liquid coconut oil called fractionated coconut oil. You could also use almond oil, jojoba oil, whatever you like. And then you would snap on the top, screw on the lid, and put a label on. Always label. Always label. Don't think you're going to remember. Always label. So I like to, if I'm putting a label around the body of the roller, I like to put a piece of tape over top. And that's very effective. So you can use this roller bottle over the heart and at reflex points. So oils for general stress, lavender, Intune. Intune is great for calming and for focus and attention. Okay, so it's a great one for taking to the office, using to sit down at your office, your table, your work, homework, School, that's great for that. Lemon is mood elevating. So are all of our citrus oils. So we have citrus bliss as a combination, grapefruit, lime, lemon, tangerine, wild orange, red mandarin, green mandarin. All these are great options for stress because they help to lift the mood. Um, we have elevation. We no longer actually have elevation. We now use cheer, and that is a conglomeration of several different oils. We have lemon in there, we have vanilla in there, very mood elevating. Lemongrass is one that's not on this list. Lemongrass is a great option. It's one of our least expensive oils, but it has a lot of uses. Very, very good to have lemongrass on hand. Serenity, we mentioned before. Grapefruit is another citrus oil. Basil, all great for helping to deal with stress. And you could take 2 or 3 of these, put them together, 1 or 2 drops each, put them in your diffuser, and then if you enjoy that aroma, that combination, you say, wow, that was really great, then you can make a roller bottle with those oils so that you can carry it with you. Different types of stress. So chemical stress. Lavender and rosemary are great to deal with chemical stress. Chemical stress would be different chemicals we come in contact with, such as air fresheners, different hand lotions with fragrances in there, anything that has like a synthetic fragrance going on. If that's causing an issue with you, these are essential oils that would be supportive to you in dealing with that. Emotional stress. So cheer, clary sage, forgive. Forgive is a wonderful one. Bergamot, console, petitgrain. Forgive is one that they did a really neat study. So they did a study to see about people in the office environment, which essential oil out of the emotional oil set that doTERRA has would work best on bringing up productivity in the work environment. And so, of course, we all guessed it was going to be motivate, right? What better could be than to bring up our work productivity would be motivate. Of course, it wasn't. It was forgive. And so I was really surprised with that. Was a very neat thing to see. So forgive is absolutely wonderful. And I love the aroma of that. You can make a roller bottle with that, or buy a roller bottle, or just buy it to put in your diffuser. Environmental stress. So think like seasonal stuffiness, dealing with congestion, so on and so forth, like that. Different things in nature bothering you. That would be environmental stress. Bergamot, cypress, geranium. In fact, that's a great combination to diffuse: bergamot, cypress, and geranium. Geranium, be aware, is a very, very strong oil. So you probably don't want to put 4 to 6 drops in your diffuser unless you have a really big room. So instead, you might want to put 1 drop of geranium, 2 drops of cypress, and 3 drops of bergamot in that diffuser, and have a very nice blend that way. Something else: geranium, Douglas fir, and lime would be a great option. So go ahead and experiment. Have fun with that. Mental stress: lavender, in tune, grapefruit, bergamot, petitgrain. And performance stress, so you're expected to get things done and get going with that: grapefruit and bergamot. Physical stress: serenity, lavender, bergamot, geranium, marjoram, M for marjoram, M for muscles. Always remember that. So, and you can combine them. So you can put your marjoram and your lavender together, right? And have a nice combination. Stress and the spine. So if you're having a roadblock with how you're feeling and dealing with stress, or dealing with something that you just have trouble shaking, like let's say you just have this stuffiness that you just can't seem to get rid of. And you're like, my goodness gracious, why is this going on so long? And you've been trying various things and you're not getting the results you think you should. It could be that you have a subluxation and you might need to go see the chiropractor, because if things are not in line, it could lead to there being inadequate functioning of the body, and the body is having stress, which is holding it back from being able to heal itself and perform as it should. It stands in the way of or hinders the body's ability to have the brain send messages to other parts of the body through the spinal cord and the nerves. And so a chiropractic adjustment or a massage can help relieve stress on the spine. Sleep, one of the topics we were talking about tonight, right? Sleep, so important, so hugely important. Yes. So while you are asleep, the brain processes information, stimuli, memories. It sorts through all kinds of information, gets rid of waste, undergoes processes essential for learning and memory. So, so you might have crazy dreams if you're feeling a lot of stress. You wake up and you're like, what was going on? Oh, that was really crazy. And that's your body trying to work through all the different stresses you're going through. So you have these different dreams, your body trying to sort it out and figure it out, right? So while you're asleep, the body rejuvenates. That's a time where cells get to repair. And the most of this takes place, sadly enough, between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. or 10 and 3. And so when you go to bed too late, which is my favorite thing, I'm just one of those people who just prefers to stay up late, but nevertheless, our bodies are all on this same clock because of how the sun goes up and the sun goes down. Our bodies are all on the same clock. And so the most amount of repair in the body goes on between 9 and 2 and 10 and 3. So depending on the season. So it's really important that we get to bed early. So 9 or 10 o'clock at night, really, really important. This is going to make a huge difference in your body being able to repair, muscles being able to repair. So if you've had an injury and your body's trying to recuperate, if you had an illness, your body's trying to recuperate, right? So your body needs that time, that sleep time during those hours. Our metabolism is affected by us not getting to sleep at a decent hour. So when we don't go to bed early enough, our body doesn't do that repairing necessary for our metabolism to function properly, and our body will hold on to weight. It'll be like, oh my gosh, we must be in some type of a crisis here. What in the world's going on? I'm holding on to all that fat I can get in case there's a famine. My goodness gracious, right? But that's not the kind of stress we're having right now. So it's just going to sit there. So we really need, if we want to if we want to be fit, then we want to work on getting to bed earlier. Okay. The body undergoes processes essential for growth and for regulating our hormones. This is another huge thing. A lot of times women tell me, and sometimes men tell me, that their hormones are out of balance. Getting enough sleep, avoiding hormone disruptors, such as synthetics that are in body care products and food, are very important to having our hormones be regulated. Statistics: 37.9% reported unintentionally falling asleep during the day at least once in the preceding month to this study. Insomnia is the most common specific sleep disorder, with short-term issues reported about 30 by about 30% of adults, and chronic insomnia by about 10% of adults. 37% of 20 to 39-year-olds report short sleep duration. 40% of 40 to 59-year-olds report short sleep duration. So the older they get, the worse it is. Okay. So 35.3% of adults report less than 7 hours of sleep during a typical 24-hour period. So we're supposed to have 7 to 9 hours as an adult. Okay. And some of that sleep should be between what? 9 and 2 or 10 and 3. Effects of sleep deprivation on the body. Well, some of these things will not surprise you, and some may. So depression, okay, impaired brain activity. So this is going to be a precursor to dementia. So we really, really want to get the sleep necessary. Heart disease. So the body doesn't get a chance to repair, and then there's a greater likelihood of heart disease. Remember, lack of sleep affects metabolism. What does poor metabolism do? Well, it leads people to be more likely to have type 2 diabetes and hold on to unnecessary weight. So high blood pressure. So another stress on the body, high blood pressure. A weakened immune system. A lot of people know this. They'll say, I haven't gotten enough sleep in days, and now I went ahead and caught a cold. My goodness, what am I going to do? So a lot of people are very aware of this one. How about this one? People don't think about this one, but it's not surprising. Accidental death. Okay, so think of how many people, maybe you, have driven impaired. And I don't mean under the influence of alcohol, although that's also a stressor on the body, but accidentally falling asleep at the wheel. Have you ever driven and thought, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, how am I going to make it home? So that would be accidents caused by sleep deprivation. So make sure that if you're very tired and you're driving home, realize that if you take a drop of peppermint, you put it in your hand, rub it together, breathe it in, put it on the back of your neck. That's a great pick-me-up. But if you're really tired and you're having trouble fighting it, absolutely pull over somewhere, take a cat nap, take a snooze, and then get back on the road when you're feeling better. Let somebody else in the car drive if they're available. So, but accidental death, many different accidents on the job, people working with equipment, all kinds of things. Okay. Okay, sleep needs. Infants. Well, infants need 12 to 17 hours, including naps. That doesn't really surprise anybody. Children 1 to 5 years need 10 to 14 hours, including naps. That doesn't surprise anybody. And children 6 to 12 years, 9 to 12 hours. Teenagers, 8 to 10 hours. Teenagers like to burn the candle at both ends. I've had 6 of them. And they love to do that and go to all-nighters and things like that. But do encourage them, even if they do an all-nighter here or there and they stay up for a sleepover or whatever, do encourage them to catch up on that sleep. It's very important, and encourage them to set healthy patterns now. Okay. Because they're teenagers, you think, oh, I'll let them do what they want. I'm not going to tell them to go to bed anymore. They're teenagers. Sit down and have a discussion with them and explain to them the information that we're talking about here tonight, and explain to them why they want to get sleep and why they want to get sleep during certain hours, and how that will help them with their test scores, their grades getting into college, their performance in a job interview coming up. All those things they're going to be sharper for and more prepared for if they get sleep, and sleep during the hours that they need to sleep during for repair. So very important, have that discussion so that they choose and they want to do that because they understand why. Okay. Adult sleep needs. So adults need between 7 and 9 hours. Most people aren't getting this. 100 years ago, people were getting it. Okay. The turn of the last century, electric lighting was not really common. for a lot of people. And so at that time, people went to bed earlier to just keep burning candles and um, kerosene lights and things like that. It was expensive and they needed to get up earlier in the morning because they needed to get up with the sun, take advantage of the hours that they had. So they were getting more sleep at night. And plus, when they went to sleep, there were no devices waking them up. There was no LED lights off in the distance keeping them up. There was no street lights keeping them up. None of that. They got to go to sleep and sleep in darkness as it should be. And so they got more productive sleep. So try to make your sleeping space comfortable. Um, if you can't get a new mattress and you need one, get a new mattress topper. Get a comfy pillow. They're not that expensive. Invest in a comfy pillow that you like. It doesn't have to be expensive or not, but get one that you feel good with. Get better sleep. Embrace a natural sleep cycle. So we talked about sleeping during the proper hours. Try to go to bed approximately the same time each night. Wake up at the same time in the morning. You don't have to be militant with that, but know what time approximately that you're trying to head to bed. And if you want to sleep in every now and then, go right ahead. You might need a little extra sleep. That's fine. That's fine. Try not to sleep in too late because then you might not be able to get to sleep easily the next night. But a little sleeping in, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Getting plenty of sleep. But try to stick to the same general framework the majority of the time. That doesn't mean you can't have a special occasion. Sleep hygiene. Get in a habit of, you go upstairs, you brush your teeth, you brush your hair, you wash your face, you put on your clean jammies, you go up, you crawl into bed, you put on your diffuser, you put some Serenity stick on the bottom of your feet, you take your Serenity capsules, you turn out your light, go to sleep. Try to put your phone far away from you, maybe in your closet or the other side of the room. That energy from that phone is negative to our system, and it's better that it's further away from us. Use oils to wake up or to go to sleep at night, but also to wake yourself up in the morning to energize. So when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get out of bed. So reach for that wild orange or that peppermint, put a drop in your hand, rub your hands together and breathe it in. And you'll want to get out of bed really fast. You'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm all wide awake now. I got that wild orange or that peppermint, and very invigorating. Essential oils for sleep. We have lavender, which calms, relaxes, and sedates. We have our Roman chamomile, balances hormones, calms, relaxes. Vetiver grounds and promotes tranquility. Our Serenity also has vetiver in it. It calms the mind and emotions. The vetiver helps with a racing mind. You lay down to sleep and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 500 things to do, and they're all swirling around in your head. If that's going on, sit up, grab the pencil and paper, write down all the things that you're thinking about the next day that you're afraid you're going to forget. Get it out of your head onto the paper. But vetiver will help with those racing thoughts at bedtime. Okay. Balance promotes a sense of well-being, and it helps to support the nervous system. Serenity soft gels. Take 1 to 2 30 minutes before bed. They're very convenient, easy to use. They can be used with the Serenity in the diffuser or the Serenity stick or both. Or they can just be used by themselves. So you're going away, you don't feel like bringing the diffuser for just one night, so you just want to throw those in your suitcase, go right ahead. Remember, when you go away, you always want to bring your regular oils with you in case you aren't feeling well. You can have the support of the essential oils to help you with your immune system, with your tummy, so on and so forth. So don't be afraid to get a little travel kit where you can hold your 8 specific oils in there for that. And there is a video about that. So oils for travel. Okay, Serenity combines well-researched relaxing benefits of lavender and L-theanine, along with lemon balm, passion flower, and chamomile. You know, lemon balm is another name for Melissa, okay? Helps with overwhelming sadness, so it really helps the mood. Additional ideas for better sleep. I usually use Serenity, but you can use Balance. Let's say you're out of Serenity and you're like, oh goodness, what am I going to do? Reach for the Balance. It's very calming and soothing. Okay, you could put it on the bottom of your feet, or you could put Serenity over your heart, on your earlobes. You can take 3 drops of lavender, wild orange, and vetiver, either in water or at a capsule or in a capsule at bedtime. I would do the capsule if it were me. I don't like the taste of the vetiver. You could take 3 drops of ylang ylang and put that under your tongue to help for sleep. You can apply vetiver and cedarwood along the spine at bedtime. Now, there are free ebooks from doTERRA, and if you would like to see them, I can send you the links for them, or you can join me at my Facebook page so that you can get and download the free ebooks from doTERRA. Lots of cool information there. And here's diffuser recipes. So go ahead and jot these down or take a screenshot if you'd like, and try these in your diffuser. So you're going to put the water in your diffuser, and for example, Sleepy Snuggles. You'll put 3 drops of juniper berry, 2 of vetiver, 2 of bergamot, and turn it on and let that mist while you're going to sleep. Absolutely wonderful. So there's a lot of different options here. DIY linen spray. 4-ounce bottle, 1 teaspoon of alcohol or witch hazel, 15 drops of each, bergamot, which is very anti-stress, cedarwood, an equalizer, lavender, which is very calming. And then you're going to, so you put in your alcohol, then you put in your essential oils, kind of swirl it around together, fill up with distilled or purified water to the bottom of the neck of the bottle, and then put in your spray top, screw it on, and then you can spray your essential oil mist onto the bed. And that's very nice to have that on the pillow when you go to sleep. So thank you so much for coming and being with me here tonight. And I look forward to you joining me for another class.